All right, so for a problem like number 6, you have this complex fraction here. And so in order to solve this, what you need to do is you just have one fraction in the numerator, one in the denominator already. So what we're going to do is we're going to factor everything completely, then we're going to invert and multiply to solve this. So if we take our numerator, the fraction in the numerator has a numerator that's already just a monomial factor. The denominator is the difference of two squares, so it factors into the sum and difference of those bases being squared, which are y and 2. So into y plus 2, y minus 2. Okay, and then the denominator, we can simplify or factor it. The numerator stays as it is. And then in the denominator, again, we look for binomial factors. The second terms of those binomial factors will be the two factors of positive 2, whose sum is minus 3. So negative 2 and negative 1 will work. Okay, once we get this, what we can do is we can take this whole fraction in the denominator, and instead of dividing, we're going to invert and multiply. So the y squared gets moved to the denominator, and then the y minus 2, y minus 1 gets moved up to the numerator. So our final step here is then to cancel common factors. So the y squared cancels with 2 of these, leaving 1. The y minus 2's cancel, and you're left with your solution y times y minus 1 all over y plus 2. And now, the additional domain restrictions are probably the tricky part to this. And the reason for that is, if you recall, anytime you invert and multiply, not only do you have to look at these denominator factors, but you have to look at what was in the original denominator of that bottom factor. So you have to look at both, or every factor in this second fraction, the one that you inverted and multiplied. So when we look here, we see that y can't be a negative 2, y can't be a positive 2, y can't be a 0, y can't be a 1, and y can't be a 2. Well, when we look at this, the y can't be negative 2 is shown in our simplified form, so we can eliminate that one, and that leaves these remaining factors that we need to identify, or the values for y that are restricted. Y can't be 0, y can't be 1, and y can't be 2. Okay? So this would be your answer for 6.